Noah, you want to fight? I was here the whole time. Hello, good evening, salutations, afternoon, guten Morgen. A little bit of Fireball improved it, so a lot will do, like a lot, right? Let's see. We'll try it out. Happy Sunday, folks. How's it going? In case you were wondering, Noah wants to fight. So, I'm wearing one of few Dead Dodge Garage trucker hats that exist in the world. So, check it out. Haven says that is how Fireball functions. That's definitely going to fix everything. Cool. Our Hill. Jamie, do you mind receiving a few car pictures to your Instagram? No, go right ahead. And hello. I don't always see messages on the Instagram. Email's usually better, which is Jamie Noise, JAMIENOISE @gmail.com. I usually see things there. Instagram, I recently, I was in the Facebook page management thing for totally unrelated reasons, and I just happened to see a little thing that popped up. Facebook and Instagram are like this. And I had a bunch of messages in there from people that I had never seen. I got no notifications, nothing. So anyway, you could send them over there. I might not see them for a while. Dan Tupper is here. Hello, Dan. Dan's been messaging me emailing me, I should say, about Magnum Swap stuff, among other things. Mo better. Yeah, let's see where we're at. Yeah, it needs more. The black Bare Naked is just, it's a little weird, but it's what they have at the gas station there. So, it's this or Angry Orchards. Lovejoy is here. How you doing, Lovejoy? Connor Lovejoy, right? I think you're on my actual FaceTubes now. It's funny. I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I don't remember, we were just talking about possibly featuring, viewers on the live stream, which I would like to do. And it might have been Stacy. I don't remember. Someone said something about it, and they were already on my Facebook friends list. And I said, yeah, I think we're actually approaching friends. And then a couple of you guys went and added me. Like you're trying to butter me up. My sister is here. What up? I decided to at least, give that a try this week. It seems to be improving this. Okay, we're getting closer on the ratio. God, that tastes like something that's neither of the things that it is. Stacy says, sure hope those two sports teams are having fun sporting and scoring the baskets or whatever. They're shooting the hoops and such, shooting the whoops, all that kind of stuff. Mofo Driver is here. Mofo Driver! How's it going? 18 of you out there. I'm not going to go check and make sure you did your homework, but please make sure you like this stream because it does stuff. We need all the help we can get because there's some guys playing with balls or something on the TV. See, this is what I was afraid of. The trucker hat just goofs up the lighting. We're nothing around here if we're not high quality when it comes to production standards. Fitz is here. Hello, Fitz. Fitz is working on an awesome new shirt design. I love it. It's based on the ranch video from last week. It's cool. It's looking really good. I have a feeling that'll probably be going live on the Merchy store this coming week. Because I think, excuse me, I think it's just about wrapped up. Looks really good. Which I guess reminds me, if you're somehow here and you don't know yet, the Dead Dodge Garage merch store is live, thanks to Fitz, and you can find it at shop.deaddodgegarage.com. Or just go to deaddodgegarage.com and click merch. Mechanics is here with us. Good evening, Mechanics. How you doing? What are you up to this weekend? I was working on a Volare, which is apparently pronounced Volare, but no one's going to do that. I believe it is your Wi-Fi sucking. Mine seems to be fine today for now. Phantom Pinecone is here and says, nice hat. Yes, thank you. It was brand new like 3 days ago, but I was working on a crappy Plymouth Volare today, and allegedly the headliner is sagging down and it rubbed the hat a bunch of times. Also, I'm just kind of grimy in general, so things don't stay nice. Anywho, yeah, it's pretty cool. I want to get a flat bill. I don't know why. I think I'm a flat bill guy, which is weird because most people that are flat bill guys aren't really my kind of people. But anyway, it is what it is. Oh yeah, you can see my goofy hairline. It's fine. It's all good. JMR is here. Hello, JMR. How you doing? Noah says, my 73 D200 died at the dump yesterday. I was tempted to leave it. Hashtag dead dump dodge. Yeah, it's awesome. They probably would have wanted money, though. I've been to the dump with a crappy old W100 many times. Dan Berg is here. Hello, Dan. How you doing? No, it says it wasn't the Dodge's fault. Edelbrock accelerator pump failed and mega flooded the carb. Maybe it was your needles and seats stuck or something, because if the accelerator pump fails, it should just do nothing. Hearing sad old Dodge starter whine was pretty funny. Oh, it always is. Yeah, so this Volare, piece of crap. I bought it on Friday. Of course, there's a video coming. But I was really short on time. I went out, I got it, picked it up, got it on the trailer with the starter in gear because it has 3 pedals. So it's actually kind of cool. Anyway, more on that later. There's a video coming. Anyway, so on video, I made a silly joke about how it's a slant 6, so it's just going to run. And it did. And then I rigged up a fuel system, and it just flooded right to shit and would not run. So I walked away for 3 days. And then I came back today, and I guess that's 2 days. Anyway, it fired right up. Classic. But I did get a good bit of horrible Dodge starter noises on video. I always do. Elijah Thorne is here. Hello, Elijah. How you doing? Hey, if you're in here and you haven't said hello, please do that. If you have any technical questions for me, I'd love to answer some. You know, haven't done that in a while. Or any video questions, suggestions, things you'd like to see on shirts. We have a bunch of ideas. Lots of cool ones coming. I hope you'll all really like them because I do. We're not going to sell anything that we're not proud of. Lovejoy says, yes, sir. Connor's the name. Shitboxes are my game. You and me both, brother. Just traded one of my parts rigs for a 99 F250 Super Duty with a V10. Guy thought the motor was blown. I put a starter in it, drove it home. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I kind of like those V10s. I'd like to get a Dodge one, but the Ford ones, they don't seem to make an incredible amount of power or anything, but I don't know. They sound kind of neat when you hack the exhaust off, and they're pretty reliable, except for the shooting out spark plug thing, of course. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of like them. Oh, fuel mileage also. God awful, but that's trucks. My sister says, yay, glad that's working out for you. Figured you'd probably add it to some cider for a lovely apple pie effect. Yeah, we're getting there. No, it still needs more. Lovejoy likes my hat. It's really nice. A few people have bought them, so there are a few out in the world now. This was the very first one, the test one. And I have to say, the quality is really good. I mean, yeah, they just embroidered that from a picture that Fitz made on the computer and sent over to him, and I'm impressed. So have no fear as far as quality goes. We got some good stuff. I'm still waiting for my beanie to get here. Once it does, I'll put that on and definitely won't take it off till June. And Fitz says, yeah, new shirt will probably be up this week. I'm pumped too. It's really good. It's really good. Stacy says, need to send you a link to a video where some guys are showing off a late 70s D100 with the uber rare Mitsubishi diesel. Yeah, that's cool. You probably should send me that. I've seen on the internet, I've seen a few trucks with them, and also dealer installed in a Chrysler of some kind. Maybe a couple of those actually, or not dealer, whatever. Installed way back when in like the 70s. Kind of neat. Same kind of diesel. I can't remember what that's called. I think we've talked about it before, but it's the same thing International used. In the Scout. Not in like actual trucks. Everything's fine. One Volare deserves another. Dan, I really thought it might be the one you were talking about when I got the pictures of it, but it came from the other direction. So I don't know that I need that other one, but I don't know. You were going to send me pictures or something, and I never saw those. You might have sent me the guy's information. I don't know. I don't have a lot of room around here. I picked up a Subaru this week too. I don't think many of you guys are on my Instagram, but I usually show off the new projects there. And anyway, I picked up this 2015 Subaru Impreza for $500 because the brake pedal went to the floor because it's from New York and the brake lines are just like self-deleting. So anyway, that's kind of cool. But excuse me, I'm running out of space. I don't really like F-bodies either. I do make a point on the video. If you want a cheap muscle car these days, it's a good way to go. Great platform. I know someone was telling me to put a 440 in one. I am not going to do that with this car. It's a total piece of shit. I'd be a lot more excited if it was a wagon and it wasn't full of holes. Elijah, doing good. Replacing the floor pan on a 66 Coronet. Fun. Lots of fun. I need to do that. My wife's wagon needs a passenger front floor. Just the passenger one from a heater box leak. I think it's probably got rust up in the cowl, so the little dam thing isn't there anymore and rainwater's getting in. And then there's a little bit in the spare tire well, but other than that, it's super, super solid. Anyway, I will be doing that myself and on video one of these months. It's been on my list of videos I need to make since the beginning, and I haven't. But we'll see. Anyway, very cool. Dan Berg is in need of a ride in Spokane. Anybody have a car they want to part with somewhere near to there? Let Dan know. Noah says, I think people love the Screaming Goat. Maybe incorporating a Screaming Goat as a gag on the logo for merch. I like where your head's at. I don't know if we'll put it into the main logo, but we'll definitely, yeah. Prudence is going to be on a shirt one way or another. I think, yeah, in fact, yeah, she's already on my list. Oh, this never works. Prudence shirts. And if you caught it there real fast, yes, I plan to put "but first soup" on a shirt eventually. We'll see. Mr. PF Flyer is here and says, hello. Found your YouTube streams today. Subscribed. Thanks for saving the old Mopars. Absolutely, Mr. Flyer. It is my pleasure. What is your picture? I can't quite tell what that is. Is it a 65 Plymouth? Or is it like a Duster? Can't tell. Whatever it is, it's got a blower. I guess it could be a Nova of some kind. It's hard to tell. Sister says, wasn't that the same cider you had on Christmas? It was excellent in that. Yeah, I think it must have been. See, I'm just not adding enough because that stuff's a little sharp. This is like horribly sweet, but also cinnamon. And yeah, the two mix together quite nicely, if I recall correctly. Just got to get the ratio right. Yep, that fixed it. Lovejoy says, this truck barely has a bed. It's the rustiest F-250 I've seen on the road in a while. Lower rear shock mounts are gone. I traded for it because of the V10. I think they're neat. Yeah, I think they are neat. Arhel says, I tried your Instagram first. We'll see. Really enjoyed you driving the Red 71 today, too. Bitchin' car. Yes, it is. And funny, you say Red 71. Red 71 is the YouTube channel name of the owner of that car. It's Red 71. His name's Austin. Super cool guy. And yeah, I love that thing. It's a neat car. Did anyone notice the horrible smudge on my phone camera through most of it? I didn't until I was done filming. And at that point, it was too late. I'm not above putting out, somewhat less than perfect quality video. Banana is here. Appears to be Will Shrek. Or would it be Shrek Smith? Not sure. Banana asks, do you know what a good price to pay for a 68 Dodge Charger project is? I'm trying to find one, and I can't seem to get one for less than some unfathomable amount. Okay, so here's the thing. Prices may vary by area, subject to change. Okay. I almost bought one that had rust everywhere, but a title, 68. I don't know if it was a 318 or 383 car. Don't care. No drivetrain. I think it had seats, front seats, but they were like garbage and they were laying in the yard next to it. A bunch of the front end stuff was off, but he said he had a grill. It was listed for $9,000. I said, I'll be there tomorrow. And then 100 other people messaged him. So then it got bid up to 12. It had rust in the subframe, torsion bar cross member. That's what that's called. It needed a lot, but it was a savable car. 10 to 12 grand. Now, it had no drivetrain. It was missing a ton of little stuff, but it was a mostly complete body with rust. If you want an RT, 30 to 40 grand for a complete but rusty needs everything car. 30 to 40. 10 to 20. That's where you're going to be. If you're paying less than 10, that's because it needs frame rails. There's no trunk floor. There's no floors, period. Everything else is probably bad too. There's obviously no drivetrain. There probably isn't a title. I mean, 10 to 15 is just kind of where it's at. And it sucks and I hate it, but that's what the market is right now. I see change on the horizon. I think prices have been getting a little more reasonable lately, but the high-end values of those cars have stayed so strong. The low-end, excuse me again, man. The low-end cars still are too, because everybody knows they can go spend that money, put, $5 to $8 grand of AMD sheet metal on it, plus a paint job and a 440 out of a motorhome or whatever, and triple their money. So, they're very expensive, and all I can say is good luck. That deal, getting screwed over on that, is actually what prompted me to sell my Cobra replica and several other things to buy the Charger that I have. And I'm very happy I did that, because if I had paid 10 for that piece of garbage and then the rest of the money to fix it, I wouldn't have even started on it yet. It would still be sitting in my yard. So I have one that I can drive, and I paid around 50. So if you can, I know that's a lot of money. It's stupid. Like, I'm an idiot, but I feel like I made the right call. So anyway, 10 to 15 grand is probably about right. Sorry. Lovejoy says, Subaru? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, look forward to not seeing a video on that one, because no one will watch it, and it actually hurts. It does bad stuff. I I don't want this to be a Mopar only channel. I realize that I named it Dead Dodge Garage because that's kind of what my thing is, but I always envisioned doing different things like boats, you know, plus I really like Toyota Corollas for some reason. You know, other projects, garage stuff, things that aren't Mopar projects don't really seem to do very well on the channel. So you'll probably never see the Subaru. I kind of want to do cool stuff with it. I'm torn between turning it into my daily driver and selling that Corolla I just bought and lifting it, putting truck tires, a roof basket, and a push bumper on it and partying. We'll see. Brakes first. Definitely needs brakes first. Oh, Mr. PFY. That's the 65 Dodge drag car that had blown the auto transmission all over the drag strip. Yep. I've seen that picture. I'm sure a lot of other people here have too. Did you see Uncle Tony's garage the other day? That, like, what is it, a stroker or something in that wagon? Some guys came to visit, a guy and his gal. I haven't actually watched the video, but I've seen the thumbnail. They tried to do a burnout in his parking lot, and it grenaded the 727 almost exactly like that classic picture. So cool. Wiggy says, here we are again. Yeah. On and on it goes. All Praises here says, howdy, everyone. I'm here finally. I'd rather hang out with you guys than watch the bowl. Appreciate that, my friend. Thanks for being here. 30 of you out there now. I'm working on catching up on the comments. We're doing kind of okay. I'm only like 6 minutes behind. If you haven't said anything, please do. And if you haven't liked the stream, please do that. Feel free to ask me questions. Tell me what a Super Bowl is. Like, which one is that? Which sports ball do they use at that one? And what color jerseys are they wearing this year? And yeah, if there's something you want to see me do on video, specifically with the classic Mopar, because as I just discussed, I'm not really able to do anything else because it just tanks my channel. Let me know that. Noah says, Ford V10 versus Dodge V10. I hear people hate them both. And V10 Rams were so cheap for so long. And I kind of wish I'd gotten one when they were. And now prices have gone up. I can't even tell you why. I really like the sound of the Dodge V10. No, it's not the Viper engine, but it's pretty cool. The cool thing about the Dodge V10 is it's pretty much a 360 plus 2 extra holes. So it should be decent. I don't know. It's a deep skirt block, like a big block Chrysler, which is even cooler. It's got a weird modern style oil pump on the front of the crank, so I don't know what to think about that. I have only ever driven one V10 Dodge truck, and it was when we put a transmission in. That's when I learned that the V10 truck and the Cummins used the same transmission, although the valve body and the governor are different. There's a lot to hate about a V10. So many cylinders, so much fuel consumption, but they make the torque. The Dodge V10 makes the same torque as the Cummins engine they were making then, plus extra horsepower on top. And I do know a guy who has one and loves it, refuses to buy a Cummins, and uses that for his tow rig. So, yeah, there are Dodge V10 fans out there. JK is here. What is up, JK? How's it going? I'm just hanging out, doing that thing I always do on Sundays, which is not watch the Super Bowl. Mr. PF Flyer responded to Noah. Some of the parts for the Dodge V10 are a bit tricky to find, but they're awesome in my opinion. I'd love to play with one. I just had a really good idea. Poor man's Viper. And unfortunately, I've thought about this a bit with different newer Chrysler engines. The V10 is tricky because the bell housing is different. Yeah, you'd have to use the bigger transmission. So that kind of screws up everything else. But poor man's Viper. Dodge Truck V10 in probably an A body, more likely a B body, actually, because it'll probably fit better. I have to take out the back seat. I think they're cool. I really like it in theory, but again, I've never gotten my grubby hands on one. Lovejoy's working on swapping a 351 into his Montclair. Thank God it's the same chassis as the 64 Galaxy. Otherwise, this would be a much harder swap. Waiting on a shift controller for the E4OD. Ah, cool. That sounds awesome. I don't know anything about Fords. Actually, I did almost get a 64 Galaxy once. What is that model? Galaxy. Maybe it's a 500. I don't know. My friend had one. He really wanted my Charger, and I offered him a trade. And he said, no, thank you. My 66 Charger. It's actually how we met, because he had owned one exactly like it previously. And he said no. And then he took that 64 Galaxy to auction. Someone else took it to auction for him, and he just got absolutely bent over. It went with no reserve for like 12 grand minus commission and transportation, and all. He got like $8,000. It was a beautiful car. He'd had it painted. The interior was perfect. It had triple carburetors on it, which I had tuned to perfection. Such a bummer. I really did like that 64 Galaxy. It was cool. But yeah, anyway, that's all I know about them. Well, and it had an FE in it. I think I can get this one going and then start on the Barracuda art. Awesome. Dude Mopar is here and says, hey, all. Hey, Dude Mopar. How you doing? What are you up to this weekend? Stacy says, oh, I got the Mustang running this past week. Then the starter decided to shit the bed. Much wailing and gnashing of teeth. I know just a minute ago I said I don't know much about Fords. I'll tell you what I know about Fords. Starters die. I maintained a 62 Thunderbird for a lady for many years. That kept happening. And that was the horrible early style with the pull style gear that like they were hard to get and hard to install and super dumb. I ended up doing the retrofit. You put a more modern flywheel in there and the 80s style, you know, the one they used from like 70 whatever until, I don't know, the early 90s. The more modern Ford starter. Because they die too, but at least they're easier to get your hands on. Anyway, yeah. At least you got it running. Tom with Rocket Restorations dropped in to say, merch hat tonight. Yeah. For sale. Get yours now. Merch. Wait, hold on. That's not right. Shop.deaddodgegarage.com. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. 31 of you out there now. Make sure you hit the like button on the stream. That does stuff. It does things. The things are good for the thing. I see a bunch of you did comment, and I will get to them. Maybe hold off on commenting for a bit, because now there are like 30 I got to respond to. What I was going to say is I am playing, as ever, the Dead Dodge Garage drinking game, which is when I misspeak or say something stupid or trip over my tongue or say something wrong, just plain wrong, you drink. And it'll screw you up. Average Joe Builds is here. I know I've mentioned this before on the lives. Average Joe is the one that bought the 72 Dart Swinger from me. So if you want to see updates on that car, pop over to Average Joe Builds. I've been seeing all kinds of videos on it. It's looking really good. It has floors now and a trunk floor. And yeah, it like idles and runs all good. It's pretty cool. Anyway, Average Joe Builds asks, I need to find wheel cylinders for the Cheap Thrills Dart. What year car am I hunting for? So it has the big bolt disc brakes on the front. Those are 73 to 76 Dart, Duster, Valiant, whatever. The rear end is an 8 3/4 Chrysler, which I feel like I mentioned with the gear that's in it is worth about half of what you paid for the car. Anyway, I believe it's original. So you should be able to just say 72 Dodge Dart. You're going to need to know the brake diameter. I believe they are 10-inch. They should be 10-inch. I don't think there are any other options that would have been on an 8 3/4, but I could be wrong. It could be out of an earlier car. It's basically the same thing from, I don't even know when they started putting 8 3/4 in A bodies, but at least 67 to 72. And honestly, there are probably a lot more years and a lot more models that will work. They're pretty standard. You just need to make sure you end up with the right bore. So anyway, just tell them 72 swinger with 10-inch rear drum brakes, and you should be good. Oh, Dude Mopar responding to Bigfoots, who asked about the Dart, says it's down for a while. $5,000 training needed. Ugh. I hate everything about that. Shopcat is here and says, hey, folks, changing the alternator of my Patriot tonight. That's not much fun. It's down on the front of the engine on the Patriot, right? And like half obscured by the intake manifold. No, that's not. Excuse me. I'm just full of those tonight. I apologize. Does anyone ever get disgusted when I intentionally make drinking and chewing sounds on camera? That's a stylistic choice. I want you to know that. I know it bugs some people. I'm not necessarily trying to gross them out, but maybe I am. Dave says, maybe start another channel for your love of appliances. Do I love appliances? I love doorknobs. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Toyotas. Yeah. Ah. Dwayne Medlin says, 440 mail truck. Yeah, when they start phasing the LLVs out, I'm definitely going to buy one. I don't think 440 is really the natural choice. It's basically an S10 under there. So I hate to say this, but an LS swap's probably the way to go, frankly. I mean, there are mounts you could just buy. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of people have asked how they get their hands on a mail truck. The answer is I don't know, but someday Aberdeen should be getting those newer, uglier ones. So they may well come available. Dan Berg has a great question. What happened to the Barracuda you were going to use as a daily? Still working on it. I just got the hood about a week and a half ago. I got almost everything else that was missing for the front end as well, which I'm very excited about. So I'm working on the next installment on that as we speak. Currently, the fenders are off, sitting in the shop. I'm going to beat them straight-ish with a hammer and finally actually bolt the front end together. And that's going to be huge, especially for just inspiring me to work on the car. Because it's just, you know, it's not fun when every time I go to pull it into the shop, it doesn't start because the battery and the ignition module are getting rained on, even though I threw that trunk lid over everything. It didn't really work. So yeah, I got a hood inserts, 67 only grill, except I'm missing one headlight bezel. I got the nose surround piece. I think I showed that on video already. And I got the valence. So yeah, I pretty much have everything. I am working on it. But it's a process, as everything else is. So I'm going to get the front end wrapped up. I need to get a radiator in it that holds coolant. I'm going to do new battery cables. I already did a new ignition module, so the damn thing would move again. And then I'm going to get an exhaust put on it. I think I'm just going to pay money and have it done professionally. I do have a lift here. I don't have a tubing bender, and I want a nice system that's quiet and runs all the way out the back of the car. I might put like 2 mufflers in it. I want it to be the quietest thing on planet Earth. So that's next. Finish front end, exhaust system, radiator, and maybe, I don't know, license plates. Because once those things are done, I can start kind of putting it around town and working the bugs out. I know it's going to need like a whole front end. So that's coming. Let's just say that. But I am working on it. It's a process. I ended up with a different daily driver because I needed to get to work. JK says, I went out to rebuild the original fuel pump to my 66 Hemi. Of course, those ones are rebuildable. You can take them apart and change the diaphragm, and cracked the housing. Ouch. Yeah, those aren't, yeah, that sucks. I apologize. So now I'm on the hunt for a Carter 4024 fuel pump. Good luck. Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start. Mike J says, love the 71 Challenger video. Hemi swap's going to be awesome. Yes, it is. You know, as someone else in the comments on that said, Well, I think he said, I'm literally a great grandpa and that Magnum's plenty of power for me. And I totally agree. Like almost 400 horsepower. You guys saw I was not pushing it. Like I wasn't, but I could tell there's plenty of power there. And I love a Magnum engine, even stock in a truck. I think they make good torque and they do pretty neat stuff. So, but the Hemi is going to be amazing. You know, extra 150 horsepower on top. Yeah, it's going to do neat stuff. And it's just a beautiful car. So I am very proud and excited to even get to approach it. Pretty awesome. Kind of like where my life's going. Dave Duck is here and says, what up, Document Duck? Check it out, Dave. My daughter gave me this. He's so cute. I got to give him a name. Maybe his name can be Dave. Or Metalhead. His name could be, or Duck Coda. I don't know. Well, I'll figure something out. Dan says, years ago, they hot rodded a Dodge V10, made a big top platum and bigger CFM throttle body. Interesting. I don't know anything about it. Oh, you know what I'm after, Dan. I mean, in stock form, I'm sure it makes plenty of torque to have a party. Oh, Shopcat says, done one before, paying to drop it out the bottom. Yeah, okay, that's it. It's been a while since I did one. I have done it. I'm happy to say I don't have to do that kind of shit anymore. I did spend this last week. I actually took time off from Rocket because this account who I've been working for several years, they had an F-150 with a 4.6 that needed head gaskets and heads machined. And that job bills so many hours. I wrote them an estimate and they were like, okay. And they just dropped it off. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing this. And luckily I called Tom and he said, yeah, it's fine. We're still doing the CUDA and we got this and that. And you just go ahead. So I spent this whole week doing a job I really hate. But it's interesting being at my home shop and not having to worry about all the other shit. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it took me 3 days, but it paid so much that it's like, all right, I could do this. It's not so bad. So yeah, I can't say I'd be excited to do an alternator on a Jeep Patriot, but you know, it could be worse. Let's just say that. Could be shoveling shit. Ross is here and says the V10s are starting to get popular as diesel fuel gets more expensive. Yep. But interestingly, I've been seeing higher prices on them even a couple years ago. They used to be dirt. I mean, there was a beautiful one in Hoquiam for like, which is the next town over, little dot on the map, for $1,200 some years back. And I should have grabbed it. But anyway, yeah, that's definitely a factor. Putting fuel in my diesel just isn't fun anymore. Which brings me to the next comment. Dude Mopar says, I like my Cummins. I love my Cummins. I've got the 3rd gen 2003 crew cab Laramie or whatever the heck they call them. Heated leather seats, nice power stuff. Great driving truck. I started driving that Corolla on my 3-day-a-week, hour-long each-way commute. And I have to say, I really miss the Cummins because unlike the 2nd gen, it drives great and it rides nice. It's stock tires, unlike most of the 2nd gens I've had. No lift, no leveling kit, none of that dumb shit. And it just drives so great. But $30 a day in fuel kind of hurts. And yeah, so I'm not daily driving it anymore. I'm still using it to tow rigs, but pulling up to the fuel station the other day, gas is $3.99, diesel's $5.29. God damn. You know, towing, it does get much better fuel mileage than a gas truck would probably, but it still just hurts quite a bit. Rooster is or was here. This was 14 minutes ago. Okay, I see you guys did take me seriously and stopped commenting, so that's good. I will get caught up here. But Rooster says, just doing a drive-by chat thingy. How you doing, Rooster? If you're still here. We were talking a bit this week. Banana is back for one more question. Have you ever had experience with Chrysler M bodies? No, I've never had anything until now with this F-body I just bought. I've never had any Chrysler car newer than 75, I think, 74 or 5. So A-body, late A-body is pretty much the end of the road as far as what I've owned and really played with. Now I have an F-body, so that's interesting. It's okay. I know the M bodies are the same basic shooting match as the F body. I've heard they drive nicely enough, and I've heard they ride very nicely. But I really don't know. I don't know. One person I know who owns 5 of them, I believe, told me that he really likes how they drive. But that's all I know. And I know the lean burn system is an absolute nightmare. So if you have that, you should probably fix it. Rooster said, "Sup, bro," to my sister, which I really like. Ooh, Ken with the tough questions. Machine gun or voodoo child? And that's all I have to say about that. Shopcat says, "I fixed an older lady snowblower earlier this winter at the request of a local community league. The karma came back to me today." What, in having to fix a Jeep? You were punished? Rewarded? Nice. Wiggy bought a DDG shirt. Nice design. Hell yeah. Thank you. I had a little input on it. That is my actual Power Wagon in the design, by the way. And you can tell by the way it's crooked. If the truck is actually bent and the mirrors are asymmetrical too. I really, really like it. Again, my friend Fitz, who has been popping into my lives and is in the comments, did the design. We went through a couple versions of it and we kind of landed on that. And I think we both just stepped back and went, this is fucking awesome. So we rolled with it. And yeah, I did put in a test order. I got a shirt, the hat, and a sticker before the stuff went public. And I love it. I really do. Super happy with the quality. I hope you are too. And thanks for buying. We're really not making a bunch of money on them or anything. It's fun and it's cool getting the name out there. We will have a bunch more stuff coming. So awesome. Yes, Tom did a drive-by. So did Bigfoot. Our Hill says, "I got out in front of your drinking game. Sorry." Lovejoy says, "As always, I am also playing Dead Dodge Garage drinking games. So do me a favor, keep me out of the hospital. Judging by how you put DDD instead of DDG, I think you're already on the way, my friend." Shopcat says, "She hired me to check over her riding mower, lawnmower, and trimmer. And when I picked them up, she set me up with some moose meat." Okay, there you go. Cool. We have moose stew for supper. Yum. Moose stew sounds amazing. My wife hasn't done stew in a while. She was talking about doing that again. We were buying a lot of beef from our local Mopar rancher. Haven't really gotten any in a while, but I think we have a bunch of stew meat left. I've never had moose. I've tried bear jerky and I've had deer steak, which is just, that's good stuff. Sounds awesome. Average Joe says, "I'm the best." Aw. In the comments on your post earlier, yeah, you know this. If I had known that thing like needed an idler arm, I would have said so. I drove it, but it was like a year and a half ago now, maybe more. I don't even remember. I was going through early videos doing the intro for my channel that I'm using now, which a couple of you noticed and commented on. Very cool. Love it. I'm very pleased. Proud of myself there. But anyway, and I actually saw a couple shots of that car when I owned it the first time, and one from before I even painted it popped up in my memories like yesterday. It was ugly, ugly white and red primer. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know it needed an idler armor. I would have given you the perfectly good one I had here. But when you posted about that, and I commented on it and said as much, and you commented back and all that, and then that other guy popped in and he was like, man, this is all just so wholesome. It really is. It's cool. Anyway, I have been watching. I like what you're doing. You're really doing right by that car, and I couldn't be more proud. And I'll just say it. I never would have done half what you're doing. I would have made it run okay. I would have done some burnouts. I would have had fun. I would have loved to have been able to drive the car. I would not have done it how you're doing it. And even if the way you're doing it isn't right, you didn't go buy factory panels. Who gives a shit? It's awesome. You cut out like every bit of rust, and it looks great. I'm super impressed. So, yeah, awesome. Shopcat stuffed like a tick. Makes it hard to go out to the shop. Yeah, too much moose. Rooster says, I was going to get a hat. Showed my son. Said you want a tomato hat. Oh, that's not tomato. It is. Yeah, all right. Fair enough. Easiest way to pull the alternator. Drop the AC compressor out of the bottom first. Yes. It's all coming back to me. I've done it, but it's been long enough that I'm not gonna. I don't have to think about it anymore. Let's just leave it at that. My sister says I love doorknobs. Yes, I do. Maybe Dave is right. Maybe another channel, DDG, odd and odder jobs. Yeah, I probably will eventually. Once this one gets to 10,000, maybe then I'll be like, okay, I can do something else. Shopcat says, oh, I better get after it. I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. Have a great week. Enjoy the big sportsing. See you later, Shopcat. I realized that was a bit ago because I'm super far behind again. But I am catching up. So that's the good news. Lovejoy says, did you find irrigation pipe for the center console? If not, I'll send you a chunk. No, you can feel free to send me a chunk. I bet the shipping's expensive. I think it's got to be 10-inch. Someone said they had 12, and I don't think that'll fit. I think it really needs to be 10. Excuse me. I'm sure I got some old junk pipe somewhere. Freight sounds expensive on that, but yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Tom said this. A couple other people said this. I realized I was being stupid. I got all excited about the interior stuff. I think I covered this in another live. I just kind of need to do this and then that and then that and whatever. So that's fine. But I'm doing the other stuff now, and then I'll get back to the interior eventually. I want it to be a whole car. I want it to have an exhaust system because it'll suck way less. It'll be good inspiration to drive it around and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I run 10. I'll look for it this weekend. Cool. All right. Well, sure. I should probably measure how long it needs to be. You're going to regret this decision once you find out what freight is to ship something that long. Oh, Super Duck. Yeah, Super Duck. Almost as good as my daughter's duck earrings. Maybe. Hey, I'm almost to the end of the comments. If you guys have any other, constructive input, criticisms, suggestions, if you've bought merch, let me know so I can thank you. I need to get some pictures of merch out there in the wild for future advertising purposes. And if you're good with that, take a picture of your hat or your shirt or whatever and send it to me at jamienoise@gmail.com. Or send it to me on Instagram. I'm going to go see if I got your message. Let's see. Yeah, see, it just never gives me notifications. Oh, because it's in requests. That's why. Yeah. Robert Hill. Of course, it blurs the pictures just in case they're dick pics. Oh, cool. All right. Nice. That's the 70. It's a piece of crap, but a beauty queen from 15 feet. Not a real RT. The 14 is a 6-speed. Awesome. Yeah, there's our Hills car. 70 Challenger. There you go. Yeah, cool. Awesome. You know, pieces of crap that look good from 15, 20 feet, it's pretty much my whole thing. So I got all the respect for that. And then, yeah, I know you mentioned this in a live before, but matching new Challenger, not bad. Personally, I think you need to do a hood blackout. And also, I could give about half a shit if it was a real RT or not. I don't care at all. You know, my Charger looks like it's pretending to be an RT with the stripe and all. I see people on the groups grumbling like the RT Charger is completely different from the basic one. Yeah, okay, great. Springs, bigger fuel line, performance engines. It's the same body, guy. It's the same car. Like, you have a 70 Challenger. Amazing. Everyone wants one of those. It's even white. It's the right color. It's cool. Anyway, I digress. Ken says you had a 76 Dart. Did I? But did I? I had a 74. That was the Jamie's home for, what was that video called? Wasn't Jamie's home for wayward darts? Oh, it was Jamie's Save a Dart program. That was it. Yeah. Save a Dart program. That one was a 74. I'm sure it was a 74 because it still had the good grill. And actually, that guy, I'll show you a picture. That guy just messaged me the other week. He has been working hard on that car. Let's see. It's got to be here. Where is it? There it is. 74 Dart guy. Yeah, 74. 74. Check this out. There you go. I know this sucks, but, well, we're doing it anyway. That's that burgundy Dart. He patched all the holes in the roof. He put those awesome wheels on it. He blacked out the grill, and you can't tell because the colors are all off, but he put a red stripe down the center, and I love it. It looks really good. He sent me some other pictures a while back. Oh, yeah, there's the roof. He's patched up. I don't know if, you know, I can't really tell if he did a great job or, you know, a crappy job, but hey, it's fixed now. Oh, I want to see. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. See, I actually started driving it, and there's a picture of it a while back down by the water. Oh, it's so cool. See, I've come around to 73 and 74 Darts. I like the Sharky grill. I don't know why. I just do. They're cool. But I don't remember having a 76. I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't think I did. We had a Valiant, a late Valiant, but I think it was a 75. Oh, shit. You're right, Ken. The blue car, the B5 Blue 340 automatic. Listen, I've had a lot of them, okay? And it's hard to keep them straight. And I only had that one for like 3 months. I did 2 videos on it. Yes, I had a 76 Dart Swinger. Thank you. Totally forgot. I'm still not big on that front end. That car looked nice. It was an absolute piece of garbage, but it looked nice. It just had rust everywhere. And I disclosed all of that when I sold it. I want you all to know that. I sold that car. I made a little bit of money. I showed that guy everything that was wrong with it. That's who I am as a person. Mofo Driver says, nice playing. I play a Telecaster. Nice. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to get it. But I have a Telecaster. It's a black bound P90, dual P90 model. I think it's Mexican made. I like it a lot. I've had a few Tellies over the years. The coolest one I ever had, it was an aftermarket body, and it had this like crazy floral pattern etched into it. It was neat. A friend of mine ended up with that. I think it's long gone now. Dan Tupper fat thumbed DDD too. Someone else did also. So Maybe my next channel could be called Dead Dodge Dumb Stuff. I don't know. We still have to do the podcast called Dead Podcast Garage. We'll get there. Blake dropped in. What's up, Blake? It's been a while. Used to be in here kicking people out for no good reason. That was 11 minutes ago. I don't know if he's still here. What have you been up to? What kind of shit are you breaking these days? Ofo driver said, let's do holler at each other. Very good. Oh, yeah, we did that. Honcho's House says, sweet new video intro. Yes, thank you. I love it. I've been planning almost since day one to do like a compilation video of like, you know, my greatest hits or whatever. So I have clips that I have saved forever. And my phone is just an absolute nightmare pit of despair of leftover clips from videos. It's insane. But anyway, I went back through a ton of that. I grabbed a bunch. Then I realized I didn't save anywhere near enough. So I had to go grab a ton of clips off YouTube using like screen capture on the iPhone. Just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, and then I used some recent stuff, and I think it's awesome personally. So that's what we're rolling with. I'll definitely be mixing it up as time goes on, changing out clips and what have you. I have a ton of them. And Noah, I can't remember what it was. Noah said, oh, look, an intro or something like that. So I think I'm gonna reshoot myself taking a drink at the beginning and say that. Whatever it was. Noah worded it perfectly. It had to be Noah. I'm sure it was Noah. Stacy said, anyway, thanks, Honcho. Very proud. Very happy. Tie it all together. Make the show look way more fun than it usually is. The Hemi that's going into the Challenger, is it fairly stock or has Austin thrown a few go fast goodies at it? It is a 392, right? 6.4? Yeah. Bone stock out of, I believe, a Challenger, manual transmission Challenger. It is bone stock, nothing done to it at all. But we pulled up the horsepower number and it's like 520. It might be out of a Scat Pack Challenger. It's out of some performance Challenger. It had a dual disc clutch, like fancy, high power. I think it's like 500 something stock. So we're just going to put it in as it is. It's going to be fine. Our Hill says, that's hilarious. Pans are solid. Frame tool. Frame as well. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. I love it. I probably need another E-body someday. I have a really good A-body now and a pretty damn good B-body. I've discussed my love-hate thing with the E-body. They just don't strike me as a practical car, but then neither is a 344 speed Demon with a 410 in it. You know, I'm not taking that one out of town much either. So, yeah, I'm probably going to have to get another E-body. I've only had the one, 73 Challenger, original 344 speed, but it had a 400 swapped into it. And it came from the Mopar Ranch, which I featured on video last weekend. It was one of the better cars that was there. Yeah. Kudos are too expensive, so I'll have a Challenger. Rooster says, like my Hemi. It's funny, Rooster, you said that thing to me a while back about how it's annoying that you say something and then I respond and then you respond, but there's like 20 minutes between the first message and the last one. If I ever get my wife to jump into these lives, she's going to help me like manage things and maybe stuff will make more sense. But I don't know. So I don't know what he's referring to when he says like my Hemi. Ross, did you cover the W100 or did I miss it? I'm assuming you mean. That's funny. Blake says in response to what I just said, almost, but not because it was several minutes ago. Random timeouts keep the chat spicy. Anyway, yeah. If you mean the W100 I pulled the engine out of, in my Friday video, I believe it was, or no, Saturday. Yeah, yesterday's video. Yes. Dave, what did I call that video? I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, that has to be the one. Oh. Rooster says, show this, parts and pieces. Fitting all the pulleys sucks. Yeah. Here's what Rooster's working on this weekend. Ooh, hammy stuff. That was weird. It dimmed for a second and it looked better. God damn it. I'm super, super good at this stuff, guys, as you can tell. Hey, that's a Mallory distributor. Lightweight water pump. Aluminum heads. Super cool stuff. Fitting pulleys. Yeah, I'm sure it does suck. I know there's a way to like pull up pictures on my computer and then share screen to the stream. I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not good enough at things. Oh yeah, it's probably that button right there, but I'm not going to press it. Anyway, Ross, did you cover the W100? I'm assuming you mean the blue truck that I pulled the blown up engine out of. And I did a couple months ago. I got it back in July. Hey, that's me. That's me right now. Nice. Let's see if I can find it. This has to be the W100 you're referring to because I don't think I've done any other W100s. It's called This Dodge W100 Club Cab Power Wagon. It's pretty awesome junk. There it is, right there, 6 months ago. 2,200 views, which is actually, I mean, the Charger video, 2 videos up from that. That was my first rocket-based video. It's 25,000, but that's not the point. 2,200, not bad for 6 months ago. Pretty damn good, actually. People like the Dodge trucks. They really do. Most of those videos kind of take a while to get any attention. It's been challenging recently. All of my videos get a little bit, but none of them have gone crazy over the moon. No, Lovejoy's in my messages. What length pipe do you need for the Barracuda center console? I'll have to go measure it again. I did it once. I think it's like 4 feet. I'm going from firewall to right behind the front seats. Maybe it's 5 feet. I'll have to double check that. Craig, I just realized I skipped over your comment. I'm not sure how I did that because I saw it. I'm super good at things. Anyway, you buy merch at shop.deaddodgegarage.com. In fact, someone from this live has gone and bought something. I got a notification. So thank you for that, whoever you are. You paid with PayPal, so I actually get an email on that. It just goes whoosh, money. There are a lot more steps for any other method of payment, just saying. Anyway, you can also just go, Craig, to deaddodgegarage.com and click merch, and that will get you right to our merch shop. It's awesome. Designs, all the hard work, back end stuff, the design of the shop itself, everything was done by my friend Fitz, who's lurking in the comments. I'm super thankful. You'll see it looks awesome, and the design's pretty badass. We've got a new one coming up right now. Fitz, I'm trying to decide, should I tease the new design or should it just be a surprise? Like my Hemi. Yes, I like your Hemi. Got it. It makes sense now. Ken says, exactly. My sister says, Dead Dodge dumb stuff will be pure shit posts. Yeah, pretty much. Mike J says, if the flower cutouts on that telly were white on a black body, it was probably a Waylon Jennings model. No, it was hand carved, I think, and it was bare. It had never been finished. And I did dumb stuff. I put it together badly with parts off of a Squire telly, and it never really played right. It sure looked awesome. If I had it now, I would have rubbed some oil into it and made it really, really nice. Pickles Projects is here and says, hello, which is pretty much exactly what I said to do. So thank you for that, Pickles Projects. How you doing? Mopar Pollock says, hello from Oklahoma. How you doing there? Hello from almost the west coast of Washington, where everything is damp. Yep, we did that. Rooster's struggling with pulleys and blower snouts. Tough life you're living. Mofo Driver says, P90 Telly, nice. Tell you what, I'll go grab it. I'll show it off because it's pretty awesome. It's been in the family a long time. And while I'm at it, we've got 3060 out there. So feel free to like the stream if you haven't done that. And if you haven't said anything, feel free to do that. Say hello. Tell us what you're working on, what you're drinking for the Dead Dodge Garage drinking game, and what you want to see on a shirt. Oh. Where is it? You can't see this, but this room is actually like full of guitars and other dumb things. Anyway, here's my Telecaster. As you can see, it's had a humbucker put in the bridge. I actually did that for my friend Drew, who used to own this thing. This unit's been well beaten. It says Falcon on it, as in Jack Falcon. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. The nut was broken when I got it. My friend Frankie is a bit of a, I don't know that he's a professional luthier or anything, but he likes to fix guitars and modify things. I've got several here, a couple fretlesses that he made. I've got a Strat that he did for me. It's actually my Strat that I bought myself brand new when I was 18 years old. He like destroyed it, and then I think he felt bad. So he stripped all the paint off and he like trimmed a 1/4 inch off the body. It's crazy. It's super lightweight. He kind of did some custom contours and he skinnied the lower horn down. So it's like a crazy custom Strat. I haven't been able to play it or anything, but I need to get that done. Anyway, 510 Kurt Dog is here. It says, yes, 6'4", 392. Yeah, I was just trying to remember. For some reason, for a second there, I remembered the 6.1 exists. So I was like, is that really what it is? Yes, it's the 392. 480 horsepower. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. I think what we were figuring is it's 100 more than what's in there now. And what's in there now is the 380 horse Mopar Performance Magnum crate engine that they sold. So those are apparently rated for 380, so 100 more. For some reason, I thought he saw a number that said 510 or something, but I'm probably remembering wrong. I know it's around 500, which, friend, let me just tell you, for a street car, holy shit. As Kurt Dog says, they rip. Yeah, for sure. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, you didn't see me test the Magnum on video. I did not do that. I got into it a little bit. I kind of know what they do. They do good stuff. The 392 is going to be a madman. Jason Umbraid is here. Jason Umbraid, of course, is the gentleman that bought the 79 step side, which you, excuse me. Can't stop. Will not stop. The 79 step side you can see in a video that I made titled Like a Little Red Express, but less. Super neat truck. I bought it solely with the intention of doing an EFI Magnum swap in it for the channel, and I never did. It's this whole thing. Anyway, I sold it to Jason for what I paid for it. And Jason says, howdy, can't wait to meet in person to get that truck this Saturday. Me neither. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure he bought a hat too, so thanks for that. Can't wait. Also looking forward to getting the parking spot back. I know I disclosed this to you as I disclosed to everyone things that vehicles I sell need, but that thing really does need window gaskets, and unfortunately it's been raining pretty heavily here recently, so it's kind of damp in there. I may fire it up before you get here and let the heater run and kind of dry it out, but it's going to need an interior detail. Let's just say that. Mr. PF Flyer says, dang right they rip. I own one in a 21 Scat Pack with a manual. Best car I've ever owned out of 100 cars. Nice. That's awesome. I will have something like that someday. I keep saying I'll have a new Challenger when they get cheaper. Now that they're going away, maybe they won't get cheaper. Maybe they'll just skyrocket in value. I hope not. Yeah, I'm fairly confident that 392 is out of a totaled Scat Pack that had, like, I can't even remember, super, super low miles. I I can't remember the exact details. I might have to get that from Austin, but I know it was a Scat Pack. Pretty sure it was a totaled Scat Pack, and very low miles. Pretty much as close to a brand new crate 392 as a guy could want. So, gonna be cool. Mike J has a 2010 Challenger RT automatic. Would love to convert it to a 6-speed someday. I think you'd probably be better off just selling it and getting one that's a 6-speed with a car like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But modern stuff like that, it just seems like such a nightmare. It's not like the classic where you just grab pedals, hump, different center console, transmission shifter, and away you go, you know? There's a lot more to it than that. Electronicals and what have you. But anyway, cool. I'll tell you what. So 2010, so that's probably still a 5.7, right? In 2010? I think it would be. I have been very impressed by every 5.7 powered car I've driven. And trucks. 5.7s alone are quite good. Lovejoy says, God damn, I really need to pick a more forgiving drink than whiskey for this drinking game. Yes, you do. I don't think it really works with the hard liquor. People do it, but I do not recommend it. Mike J asks, will you guys be at the Sunbust Mopar show in Graham? I've never been. I need to do a lot more of that. But I don't know. I can't say that I will be, but maybe. I'd really like to start taking one or the other of my cars to the bigger shows. That would be pretty cool. Our Hill says, hey, speaking of the Red 71, what was the make of that 6-speed? 6-speed. I didn't say in the video because I don't know. I think he told me, we had a really long phone call. I took notes and things, but I don't remember what it is. Let me think. It's not a 60-60. Nope. Don't remember. I will. Okay, so here's the thing. The video I did was just of the test drive and looking at the car and stuff. I didn't so much as show the engine. I didn't go into the details of the parts we're using, really. I didn't go into the details of the project at all, other than saying that we're doing it and it's a 392. I will be doing, before I do anything on the car, I'm going to do a video where I go over the whole build, all of the parts, everything that's there that we're using. And I will have the model of the 6-speed in that video. I think he told me, and I just can't remember, and I don't want to be wrong. I will say it's awesome, except that I couldn't find 6th gear. It was like 5th was boop, and then 6th was like that. So, yeah. Kurt Dog, I put a 6.4 out of a Scat Pack, pulled a 6.4 out of a Scat Pack and put it in my Duster with a mild cam. It's a lot of fun. I rode in my buddy's Scat Pack Challenger, and I had to get one. Awesome. I'm somewhat afraid that I'm going to do this car, and it's going to be incredible, and then I'm going to have to do it to something. I'll never do it to the Demon. The Demon is a time capsule. The Demon stays as it is. I have a really nice Charger. That would be a really nice Hemi-powered overdrive highway cruiser, decent fuel economy, way faster than the big block. It would be so cool. But I want it stock, and I like it how it is. And when I first got the car, at least one guy was like making fun of me in the comments saying, dude, you have to modernize it. You have to. So I don't want to, because fuck that guy. But I am sure you're right, and that sounds incredible. I'm going to have to get yet another car. Maybe an E-body. I just said I needed one. I'll get an E-body that needs an engine, and then I'll build my 5.7s and put that in that E-body, probably with a 4-speed. Or with the perfectly good 5-speed I've got in a storage unit. Yeah. It would have to be a really crappy E-body, probably. Just to be in my budget. Craig asks, why would you want a quiet exhaust? Because it's a slant 6 and they don't make good noises. Excuse me. The main point of that car is to be a silent, comfortable, reliable, economical daily driver. And what I'm going to do with it is drive it an hour to work and an hour home 3 days a week. And I don't want to listen to exhaust drone. I've done the drive in my Charger, and the Charger's not awful. It's got full 2.5. It's got, I think, Flowmasters on it. It's got a nice tone. It is not awful. It's livable. The Demon, little loud. I don't want that. I want it to be very quiet. And again, it's a slant 6. So like, it's not going to sound cool. It doesn't matter what I do. So the goal of that build, that's what it is. You've probably seen that Barracuda, the brown Barracuda. That's the ultimate daily driver project that I've been doing on the channel, which several people have asked in this live today and in previous weeks. Where's the Barracuda? When are you going to get back to the Barracuda? What's going on with the Barracuda? Did you get rid of the Barracuda? That's that car. But yeah, that's the goal. I mean, we're talking center console made out of some pipe, which Lovejoy is going to send me. Lovejoy messaged me asking what length. I think it's 5 feet, but I need to verify that before we do anything. It's going to have a touchscreen double din. It's going to have someday probably air conditioning. It's going to have front and rear heaters. It's going to have sound deadening everywhere. It's going to be as quiet, as close to a BMW as it possibly can be, with slant 6 power, possibly fuel injection down the road. So that's the entire goal of the car. Turn it into a BMW or a Toyota Corolla. Closer to a Corolla, I guess. But also, Craig, and I do have a bunch of comments I will try to catch up with here. I'm 15 minutes behind again. That's a cool trick. Is what it is. I just like quieter cars. I've spent so much of my life hacking mufflers off, you know, and going to glass packs and rear axle dumps and that goddamn 66 Barracuda out there. I used to daily drive with 3-inch side dumps, glass packs. My hearing is bad. And I'm just kind of over that, you know? When I got to my upper 20s, really, I realized I like quiet cars. That's it. I think those electronic cutouts so you can sound really annoying but then be quiet again were pretty much designed for me because I'm into that. Jason Umbraid is also looking forward to the 2,000-mile drive home with the 79 step side. I'm looking forward to that for you too. I think you're going to be just fine, but I'm not betting on it. It was good for me. Hopefully it's good for you. Dan Berg is back. Did you miss me? Yes, I did, Dan. I didn't know what to do without you. I also didn't know you had left. Jason also says, we got to know, where'd the oil go in the W100? I don't know. I'm going to pull the heads off. So, okay. This might annoy people. I don't know if it will or not. But basically, the comments on that video overwhelmingly have been put in the 40 over 318. It's the right thing. It's factory. It's the easiest thing. It's almost like these people have watched my channel and know that if I don't do the easiest thing, it'll never get done. It keeps it simple. You know, basically all the comments. One person said, do the 5.7 Hemi. And I will be honest, for a second there, I thought, exactly, yep, that's it. How much is a standalone harness PCM? Can I fit the 5-speed, you know, this and that, fabricated mounts, engine mounts? And then I realized that was dumb. A couple people have said, do the Magnum. It would be awesome. And it would. I know it would. And I need to do it in something. I'm not doing it in the 79 step side, so I need to do it in something. But I think I'm probably just going to end up doing that 318. It's perfectly good. It's way better than what the tired original that was in it. It'll run great. It'll be simple, effective, I'll clean it. I'll paint it. I'll make it pretty. Dave will be proud. And away we go. So that's probably what's going to happen. Excuse me. To do that, I need the cylinder heads off the one that blew up. So I'm going to pull the heads. And I'm going to be looking for cylinders that are full of oil, you know, or valves that went through pistons, because I really didn't look up into the engine dangling on the cherry picker. That seemed a little... If I find an answer on where the oil went, I will show it on a video as I'm putting that other 318 together. That will happen. But so far, it's a mystery. I know that thing was full of oil. Dave put in that weird dipstick that's a transmission dipstick. He had verified that the mark was perfect. He did a fresh oil change. It had clean oil in it, and it read full on that stick. There was plenty of oil in it. It had plenty of oil pressure. It made no noise. 318s tend to start ticking long before they're actually out of oil. I mean, quart and a half low, if that, maybe a quart, and they'll start rattling. Maybe 2 quarts, but they'll still have pressure. This has been my experience. They'll still show plenty of pressure on the gauge, but they'll start making rattly noises. And it did not do that. It sounded fantastic. And again, it is on video. Whatever the heck I said a minute ago. Fabulous jug, something like that. If I find out where the oil went, you'll find out too. Lovejoy's ordering a hat tomorrow, waiting on my paycheck. Awesome. Very cool. I'm trying to get hats on heads and shirts on chests. Like I said, I am not getting rich. I'm very excited to have this design out there, get my name on people. And, you know, I appreciate you all supporting the cause and giving me not only free advertising, but advertising that you paid for. I'm eternally grateful. I just think it's cool. And I'll be honest, we haven't sold a ton of them. You know, we've sold a good few. I've got some happy customers for sure. We haven't sold a shit ton of them, but it means a lot to me, the people that have bought them. And I'm surprised. I didn't really see myself getting to a point where I would have a channel that people would want to represent on their person. So thank you all. I'm very happy. Ross said, that one. Okay, yes. That W100. Yes, that is the video. Whatever that was that I said a minute ago, that is it. Lovejoy, I'll try to remember to get back to you on an exact length on pipe. Really good chance I'll forget. I forget everything. As my daughter says, you're a forgetting person, Daddy. And she's absolutely right. Just ask Rooster. 3070 out there. If you haven't liked the stream, please do that. Helps me in my quest for global domination. And that is what this is. I am hoping to someday be your supreme ruler. Me and Super Duck. My sister says, keep the design a surprise. I think Fitz must have checked out because he never answered if I should show the design on the live or not. So I guess it's not. Stacy says, thought I'd join in the drinking game. Got me some spiced rum and Coke. Awesome. Cheers to you, my friend. Whoo, boy. The Fireball. It gives it a little something extra. I played a show, my first live show in a while, other than the one which you can see in the video about closing my shop I did back in July. And I can't remember what that video is called either. I usually have cheeky names. It's something like how to run an unsuccessful but popular auto repair shop, I think. But we threw a shop show, our last shop show then, and my band played at that. Now I'm in another band. Anyway, I played a 3.5 hour show on Friday. I'm still recovering. Where was I going with that? I don't know. My brain farted. Don't remember. Oh, I remember. There was a large man outside who had been drinking at the end of the show, and he said he was insulting. He was talking about Fireball, okay? And what he said was, people say it's a bitch drink, and it is. Bitches love it. But so do I, which is really not where I thought that was going. Anyway. Cheers to that guy. Our Hill says it's bourbon tonight. Lovejoy says tin cup whiskey for me as always. I'm regretting it tonight though. Yeah. Honestly, I think I'm doing pretty good compared to some nights. It's just kind of what it is. I apologize. Kurt Dog says, thank you. I drive it all over every weekend. It's mild when you want it, but once you open it up, it gets it. I have to run drag radials to keep traction. Yeah, I'm sure you do. You know, yeah, I think that's one of the cool things about that package. I mean, I don't know, modern fuel injected engines, you could just tune so much power into it. It can do awesome stuff, but it can also drive to the grocery store. And that's the thing. Like, you want to make that same about 500 horsepower with like, okay, say my 340. It does not make 500 horsepower. It probably could, but the amount of work required to get there and the cam, by the time it makes that horsepower number, it's absolutely worthless for everything. It just can't drive to the grocery store, you know? Big block, similar story. I mean, you could put a gnarly cam and some awesome heads on it and make that 500, but it's not going to be streetable like that Hemi is. So there's a lot. Excuse me. There's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is. There's a lot to be said for that. It's a really good point in all of this. That Hemi will do awesome shit, but it'll also drive okay. So very cool. Jason's drinking the Bullet Bourbon tonight. Very good. I tend to steer away from the actual liquor. I like to have one cider many nights, two if I'm feeling frosty. So technically I am an alcoholic, but I just stay away from the hard alcohol. I like to remember stuff. Mike J on his 2010 RT says, it's really funny that I said I like to remember stuff when I clearly don't remember fuck all nothing. But I remember that Mike J was just talking about 2010 Challenger RT and says it is a 5.7. Yep, that's what I thought. 5-speed automatic. Great car. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Like I said, I've been nothing but impressed with 5.7s. And I do have a couple blown up ones, which I will eventually combine into one decent one and put it in something. We'll get there eventually. I'm working my way up to it. I know it's going to be expensive, and I'm not looking forward to that part. Craig says, I've had Moose Stroganoff. It was amazing. That's awesome. If I get a hold of Moose. Yeah, Mrs. Jamie is truly an amazing cook. I am so spoiled. And Moose Stroganoff definitely could be on the menu. Kurt Dog asks, what kind of engine control are you going to run on that Hemi swap? If it came out of an auto, you want to pull out the MDS crap. If it was a manual car, which it was, it's already gone. Got to run the 6.4 intake with active runners. Again, I don't know. I don't remember. We talked about the controller. I don't know. Maybe it's Terminator? I can't remember. I apologize. Again, I am going to do a video on all of that stuff. I have looked at the ginormous mountain of boxes. And if you were here last week for the stream, or if you've watched it since, we got a tour of Rocket Restorations where I work and where that project is being done. And Tom actually pointed the camera at the humongous mountain of parts for that project. I have not dug into them. I have not laid it out. I have not looked at it. I have not really even thought about it, except how badass it's going to be to this point. I think it's some type of Holley standalone system that we're using, but I don't remember. So I will tell you when I figure that out. Again, the next video you guys see on that Challenger, I will show all of the parts and I'll go into what we're going to do for the build a little bit more. But at this point, I don't even know. So, that is what it is. I believe we're running the stock intake, but I'm not actually sure on that now that you mention it. It's definitely out of a stick car. It still has the twin disc clutch on the back of it. So yeah, it shouldn't have the multi-displacement crap, as you say. But yeah, if it did, I'm sure we would have been deleting it because we wouldn't be running that. Rooster says you asked about stock HP of a 6.4 Hemi. It's 525 horsepower, 510 foot-pounds of torque with a chip, 650 plus. That poor Challenger, best get that frame tied. I think it already is. And new torque boxes. We would be doing torque boxes, but it has brand new carpet and it's glued down. It's getting all of the rest of the frame stiffening stuff. Okay, so that 525 number is what he found. So I don't know. Someone quoted 480. I don't know if that's a year difference or if it's a model difference. I know this is that 525 number sounds like what Austin said because he looked up what he actually took it out of, and that's what it was. So again, I'm not saying I can't remember who said 480. Again, I don't know if that's an earlier year or what the deal is, but 525 I think is what Austin said. I knew it was over 5. As far as the Dana 60, we've talked about this. He asked us point blank, do I need to put a Dana 60 in it? Our answer was, an 8 3/4 is pretty good. Now, here's the thing about this car. It's probably not doing hard traction drag strip launches. 525 through a manual transmission is quite a bit of power for an 8 3/4. But street tires, it might run down a strip at some point, but it's not a drag car. In my opinion, with street tire traction, with what's on it, it's probably not a problem, excuse me again, until it's a problem. So at this point, we're not putting a Dana in it. It's definitely on the table. And Austin's not afraid to spend the money. He's not afraid to do that if that's what it needs. And you are probably right. If you look at how much power it's going to make, and especially shocking it with a clutch, yeah, the 8 3/4 might be on borrowed time. But for now, we're going to let it ride, and we're going to see how it does. And that'll be great research, I've mentioned this before. I once put a healthy, not radical, but healthy 360 in a 73 Dart with a 904 transmission and a 7 1/4 axle. And we never broke either of those things, doing burnouts all the time. But it was a one-legger, street tires, nothing special. We did not, we didn't try to get traction. We didn't try to make it hook. We didn't try to make it launch. And the 7 1/4 axle was perfectly fine when it came out of that car. So ditto the 904 transmission. So that's all I'm saying. I know in your world, Rooster, that shit ain't going to fly. You put sticky tires and traction to this thing, and yeah, that 8 3/4 is done for. I think the way Austin uses the car, it will live a long, long time. But we'll see. And Mr. PF Flyer following that with the 6.4 in stock form will be more than enough in an ARE body. 6.4 is loud right out of the box. You'll need to sound insulate the floor. Already done. That car has straight 3-inch exhaust under it. Someone asked me in the comments on that video what mufflers it has. I have to go look at them again because I don't remember. But yeah, I know it's not going to be quiet. In fact, I said that in the video if you saw it. I don't know if you guys like it or not. I like that GoPro angle on the back of the car. I love getting the exhaust note. The wind noise is a huge problem. But I will say I've only done it on e-bodies and a Volare so far. And they all sounded pretty good. The yellow Cuda sounded really good. But that red car sounds. And as I say on the video, I think that Hemi through that 3-inch system is going to sound phenomenal. So I'm very much looking forward to it. But I'm totally on board with what you say. And that's that the 6.4 in stock form is more than enough. Now, I know Kurt said that he put a cam in his, and that's cool. But I am completely in agreement with you. I think a 5.7 in stock form is more than enough. 350 horsepower, I've said this, 300 to 400 is like, what are you doing with more than that on the street? So, 6.4 in this thing is kind of pushing my personal horsepower barrier, but I know it's going to be awesome. Mopar Pollock says, I say the rear main seal dumped all the oil. It clearly did dump some. It was very obvious it was leaking. And there's a bit of a problem too, because since the clutch guard was missing, there was no way for it to pool there. So I couldn't see, a lake of it. Of course, they have a drain hole in them anyway, but I just feel like having it ventilated like that, the oil's hitting the ground instead of hitting the splash guard, maybe, jumping around in there, make it a bit more of a mess. So there was a mess, which I think you could see on the video. It wasn't as bad as I would expect for something with no oil left in it, if that makes sense. And I've seen rear mains that were bad, and looking at that engine, you could see it did puke oil from everywhere at some point. But David done a really nice job of going through and resealing oil pan, top end, all that stuff. The rear main, obviously, he did not do, and obviously there was oil back there. It just didn't look to me like there was 5 quarts of oil back there. You know what I mean? I even took the flywheel off, and my fingers didn't really get covered in grease from the back side of it. It did not look that bad. It leaked for sure. It just didn't look like 5 quarts of leak to me, or 6 quarts. But yeah, you may well be right. That is the one thing you can look at and say, yeah, there's oil here. And the pattern on the exhaust would make sense too. I think it's in the right place where with no clutch guard there, the flywheel could be winging oil over to the exhaust. So that would explain it. Yeah, again, it didn't look horrible to me. Craig says, have you checked out the 72 Fury Weird Beard is building? It's coming along nicely. No, I haven't. I don't actually know who Weird Beard is. If anyone's mentioned him, I don't know. Weird Beard Fury. Weird Bears. Bringing in a new year with the Fury video. Huh. Yes, I meant Weird Beard. I can't say that right. I apologize, guys. This is getting rough. Huh, that's a cool car. I've never even seen a 2-door 72. Flat bill and a beard and glasses? Really? How many subs does this guy have? 72,000? Good Lord. He's only got 212 videos out. I've got 249. No, that's cool. Looks like a neat build. I'll try to check him out later. Tony B says, I've never seen a broken crank in an engine. Lots of spun bearings, broken rods, broken pistons, cracked blocks, etc. Yeah, me neither. It was a brand new one for me. It's one of those things you hear about, but I'd never seen it. I've really never seen many failures in Chrysler engines in general. I've seen flat cam lobes. I've seen low oil pressure. I've seen plenty of ring smoke. I've seen a lot of ring smoke. But yeah, I've never really seen them broken. And that's why that video was so interesting for me in that project in general. As sad as it is, and it is, I hate to see something like that broken. And I loved that truck. It ran mint. There was nothing wrong with it. But it's fascinating. I love seeing the carnage, to a certain degree. And I really liked trying to wrap my head around exactly what happened to it, which I still don't really know. Yeah, maybe all the oil did come out around the rear main seal. The weirdest part to me is the guy did not drive it for very long. I drove it to Olympia once. I don't think I checked the oil after that. I checked it before. So maybe I leaked half the oil and he leaked the rest of it. I don't know. But yeah, Tony, I've never seen a broken crank. I've never seen most of the failures that I hear people talking about, because in Chrysler land where I live, shit just lives forever. And I've noticed that about my stuff. I think part of it's that I usually just don't drive it a whole lot. So things just kind of continue to exist, like frozen in time. Like, yeah, this engine smokes a little bit, but it's fine. I drive it here or there, and it just keeps doing its thing. I never get enough miles on stuff to break it. And also, I don't know. I guess I'm just somewhat responsible, and I check fluids usually and stuff, except on my daily drivers, like my truck, in which I literally haven't checked the oil in a year. Sorry, Tom. Anyway, yeah, new one for me. Fascinating. And of course, Rooster, once he saw that, said, yeah, those cast cranks are crap. Of course it broke. I've never seen one break. Never. Not once. But I really think what happened is probably all the oil went bye-bye, and then the guy dropped the clutch. He test drove it with me in the passenger seat, and I could tell he didn't kill it. You know, he knew what he was doing. He was just not at all familiar with the 435, not at all familiar with old stuff. And I'm sure there's a difference between, I never think about this. I've been living with crappy old Mopars for a long time now. I know how to treat them, you know. I know how to horse around, but I know how to treat them. And I'm guessing that thing saw way too many RPMs and maybe a clutch drop or a hard shift or something like that. And the oil was already gone, so it was done for. American Joe TV says, this week we're buying them. Watch out for our order. Awesome. I will. I think I mentioned this last week, but the way things are set up currently, don't mind my crazy hair today. Couldn't be bothered to brush it. The way things are set up currently, I have to approve every single order that comes through. So I will see it. My sister says, smash. So do that. American Joe's clearly been playing the Dead Dodge Garage drinking game also. And says, Miller Lite as usual. Drink until you can't spell right. Damn right. Lovejoy says, my uncle has a 600 horsepower LS Swap Nova. License plate says grocery getter. Nice. That's awesome. Dan is happy with his Pepsi. Awesome. Good for you. I think we've talked about your lack of drinking before. And I'm not here to encourage anyone to drink when they shouldn't or try to say it's a good idea, because it's actually super bad for you and dumb. But this is America, goddammit. Thanks for being here, Dan. Alex is here and says, sorry I'm late, y'all. Got my Dead Dodge Garage merchandise the other day. Shirt is awesome quality. Stickers look great. Threw one on the 72 D100. Cannot wait for the Prudence merch. Oh, yeah, it's coming, Alex. You know it. Awesome. Super cool. I announced this last week, but Alex has the distinction of the very first public Dead Dodge Garage merch order. Super cool. We had a rash of early orders, obviously, and they've slowed down quite a bit. I think everyone that ordered within the first week and a half, which was most of them, has all their stuff now. So I'm very happy to hear your feedback. If they're as good a quality as mine, I think you're going to be very happy. So again, I said that from the beginning. I wasn't going to do it if I didn't figure out a way to make a quality product that I could be happy with. We are using a third-party printer, seam stitcher, embroiderer, drop shipper type service, but the quality is there. So I am very pleased. I'm very happy with my shirt. I still got to pre-wash it. I put it on and I noticed it was just a little itchy. So I got to run it through the laundry and then I'll probably live in it for a while. But cool. Glad you're happy, Alex. And I'm glad a sticker found its way to your Dodge. I've said before, the Demon is not a sticker kind of car, and it's not. But I am thinking I might need to put a Dead Dodge Garage sticker in the back window. We'll see. You know, just so you guys know, if you see a B5 blue, no stripe, 344 speed Demon at a car show, if it's mine or not, you know, might be important. WTI 70 is here and says, good evening. Good evening to you. How's it going? I'm 15 minutes behind again on the comments, folks. I'll try to catch up a little bit. Rooster says, rum, the drink of all good pirates. Arr! What are you talking about? I'm driving my blown Hemi to the store for milk and bread. I would too, but you know what I'm talking about. Mike says, I swapped a 6.1 Hemi intake onto my 5.7. Superb mod, and it's not plastic. Cool. Okay, that's good to know. Awesome. I just have the stock plastic truck manifold for mine. Actually, I do have a car type manifold, so I would probably run that. You guys saw, I think I made a video called Friends by Hemis. I replaced the 5.7 here at home in a Durango that had just had it done like 3 months prior, 2 months, 2.5. It was like just barely inside the 90-day warranty. The second replacement engine that they sent was out of a Jeep Commander, and apparently those use car stuff. So I've got a car oil pan. It came with a car filter adapter, but unfortunately I had to put that on the Durango because something about a special pipe plug that was missing, or no, the filter adapter was missing out of the block. Yeah, the threaded adapter, and I couldn't get one in time. That was it. So I don't have that. I might just buy another one. But yeah, I have all the car stuff, but it is a plastic car intake. It's cool to know the 6.1 intake is not. I'm not big on plastic. Yeah, it's lightweight. Nah. Well, Pollock says 6 week. Back. The Dragon Drive has proven old iron can survive. Yeah, of course it can. It's happening this week. Last year it was a blast, except when another friend's valve covers exploded from a crankcase nitrous/gas fire. Wow. That's amazing. Crazy. My sister says, I think sports ball ended. I wouldn't know anything about that. Alex says sports ball was entertaining until it wasn't. Probably why Alex was late. I'm sure you guys know I am not a sports ball guy. I'm just not. I don't have time. I just don't have time. I have so much to do. And it's like, I don't have time to relax, really. And I think that's what you'd have to do to watch sports ball. Sometimes I do take a weekend off. I didn't do much this weekend. But yeah, I am not a sports ball guy. Never have been. Anyway, Rooster says 6.4 Hemi truck is 45 horsepower. As for what an 8 3/4 can take, my 64 Savoy made 651 horses on the dyno. If the tires can break loose, it will live a long life. I do suggest stiffener brace. Cheap, worth the money. Yes. So, yeah, Austin got the full stiffening kit, basically. So he has the inner fender, those braces. He has the radiator support one. He has the full stiffening kit. I think he got the torque boxes too, but he's just afraid because he just had the interior done, soundproofed, new carpet, and it's all glued down. And he said, don't really want to peel all that up to weld on the floor. So for now, we are not doing the torque boxes. We're doing the rest of the stiffening kit. The engine compartment's getting painted on the car. The hood hinges will get painted on the car. That stuff, the braces we put in, I'm sure will also get painted. So yeah, I believe it also already has subframe connectors on it. I'm pretty damn sure it does. Though now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't actually stuck my head far enough under to see. Oh, we'll also definitely be getting a detailed on the lift look under the car because there is a lot of cool shit in it, and I know people are going to want to see that. Mike J says, check out Poor Boy's Garage, fellas. He's got a nice 69 Roadrunner drag car. Poor Boy's Garage. Here, I'll punch that one in on here. Oh, come on. This is getting painful. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to Google YouTube. Boys, seriously, I can't type anymore. Oh, also, it doesn't help. My space bar on this thing is like destroyed from banging on it repeatedly during video editing. It's bad. I've only had this thing since Christmas, so ouch. Anyway, Poor Boy's Garage. I don't see his Roadrunner right here. Oh, there it is. Oh, holy crap. It is a piece of garbage. Nice. Cool. Yeah, go check him out. Looks like a party. The time we rescued 8 Mopars. Interesting. Very interesting. Rooster says KC, which I can only assume means Kansas City won. Football is over. Oh, that's interesting. Mopar Pollock says, I've seen engines break cranks from being lugged. And that would definitely be a possibility too. Huh. Yeah, I was more thinking high RPM. Or again, a shock. That's very interesting. Lovejoy says, and Lovejoy, you work on big stuff, right? I've seen a busted crank in a Detroit DD16. Yeah. Engine managed to fire in reverse and snap the crank. Changed the crank, pistons, and liners. Sent him on the road, not down the road. 200 hours and a full rebuild later. Ouch. Oprah Pollock says, also a friend worked for UPS. The straight 6 Ford seemed to break them at 300,000 miles. Interesting. Also, UPS had trucks with straight 6 Fords? Huh. Oh, Craig responding to my response to him a while back. Yeah, slant 6. We don't need to hear the slant 6. I think we all know it's going to sound bad. Scott's on vacation on like a cruise ship or some shit out of Miami or some shit and says, I'm here and will remain until you use the word. Yeah, Dodge. Lovejoy says, don't drink, kids. Do as I say, not as I do. And stay in school. It's good for you. Rooster says, if the rear main went, the hole underneath would be dripping. See, that's my thinking too, Rooster. Like, obviously it leaked. It definitely leaked. I just don't see like evidence of totally douche the underside of the truck, like gone. That's the thing. Like, if I had that anywhere, cool, we'd know exactly what happened, but we don't. You know, there's a little bit of seepage there, but it just doesn't look like this is where 5 or 6 quarts of oil went to me. Oh yeah, and yes, you did tell me how to break a crank. Yes, Rooster's seen 5 318s and 1 400 with broken cast cranks. Yes, the other day Rooster said drop all the oil out, start it up, drive it, and drop the clutch. Gone. My sister says, and there goes Scott, which, yeah, I probably said Dodge 18 times between him writing that and me seeing that. Alex says, wore the shirt to work. 6 guys subscribe to your channel on the spot. Yes. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. I'm hoping everybody's doing that. Stacy peaced out a few minutes ago. You have a good night, Stacy. We'll see you next week. Take it easy. Rooster says neutral drops and cast cranks do not match. Zero G Mopar says seen broken 4-inch cast 360 stroker crank that was driving a 671 blower. Well, that makes sense. Cast crank driving a blower. It's also a stroker, so a bunch of inches, way too much power for a cast. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I've seen that they have those cast stroker cranks, and I just don't know why you'd want to do that. But we have saved money, I guess. But especially not like, yeah, putting a blower on it. Like, why? That's just a mistake. Oh, Mike says, I met the original owner with your Demon at the Sunbus show in Graham several years ago. Got pictures somewhere. Awesome. That's cool. In my car collection right there, you can almost see that dark spot right there. That is a picture of my Demon at a car show in Aberdeen like 14 or 15 years ago. And it came out of a photo album that I got out of a garage that we were renovating when I worked for a construction company still. We were like, I don't remember, like lifting. I think we were lifting the whole house, pouring new concrete in the garage, pier and post. I don't even remember. Scott would know. He's in the comments somewhere. Anyway, one of my souvenirs from this operation was this album of pictures from local car shows. And there's a lot of cool shit in there. But one of the things is a couple pictures of my demon. And I knew that was the car. It had to be the car. The sticker kind of gives it away, but just being a blue demon with no stripes, it's pretty obvious. But yeah, anyway, cool. Awesome. If you find those, send them my way. My sister's off to visit my mom. My mom is out of the hospital. She was in the hospital last Sunday. She is now in an, inpatient care facility. She got her right knee replaced, and she has to have kind of round-the-clock care. There's a bunch of physical therapy type stuff that's involved with it. Get up, do this, move the knee, stretch the knee. She has to have constant help, basically. And unfortunately, all of her kids kind of have jobs and such. Although my little brother just lost his because our local Pizza Hut, along with, as I'm told, many other Pizza Huts, at least on this side of the country, are closing after today. So he probably could have been there around the clock. But yeah, she's in a care facility right now, recovering from knee surgery. She'll be getting the second knee pretty soon. Oh, Alex is hitting the sheets because 4 a.m. comes early. Good night from North Carolina. Good night, Alex. Thanks for being here with us. Dan's out of here as well. And our Hill. Everybody knows the schedule. We're out of here at 8, folks. I got just a few things left to respond to, and we'll be out of here. So thanks for hanging out, and we will see you guys next week. Also, my sister. Anyway, my mom's doing better. Hopefully she'll be up and like walking and stuff pretty soon. She's had 2 horribly bad knees due to arthritis for many years. So, yeah, getting the one done, get that one up and operational, get the other one done, recover again. And then, yeah, hopefully she can actually like walk and stuff. So that'll be cool. Lovejoy says, my work PC has the same space problem. Yeah. Our building department constantly complains because I will randomly have words with no spaces between them in my stories. Yeah, classic. Oh, okay. Rear axle housing stiffening brace. That makes a lot of sense. I will definitely bridge that idea to Austin because, yeah, I know they do warp. I know many of them, even in cars that don't have 500 horsepower, are warped. So sounds good. Mr. PF Flyer said the same thing. 5 a.m. Monday's coming up too soon. This old auto tech mechanic grease monkey needs to hit the rack. Nice meeting you all, and thanks for the show. Thanks for being here. I'm sure you're gone already. That was 6 minutes ago, and we do wrap up at 8 o'clock. But thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate the subscription, and maybe we'll see you next week. We got a lot of regulars around here that seem to come back week after week, so it must be just enjoyable enough. They might come just for the excuse to drink. I cannot confirm or deny that. Anyway, good night, our Hill, who said, good night, kids. Thanks for a great channel, Dead Dodge Garage. Thank you, my friend. I'm doing my best, and we'll see you all later. Morgan says, hey, I got a 63 Dart, 225 slant 6. No timing marks on the balancer. Would it be somewhere else? No. It should be on the balancer. Now, you should have a timing tab, and I think on your 63, it may have been bolted on, so it may be missing, but there should be a little notch on the back of your balancer. There should be one. It might be tough to see, but no, it wouldn't be anywhere else. So if you can't see it, what you might do is pull number 1 spark plug, bring cylinder 1 up to TDC, which you can verify with a screwdriver or something similar. Just make sure it's, you'll watch as it's coming up, your screwdriver will rock over and then it'll stop and then it'll start to rock back. So go back and kind of find it there. Might not be super, super precise, but you can put a paint pen mark on your balancer and a matching one on your timing cover. I have had to do that on slant 6s specifically because the timing mark was not there. The tab. The mark was on the balancer, but the bolt-on tab was missing. So you might need to do that. But there should be a notch. Maybe there isn't. We did this. Oh, Scott says, nope, I'm still here. Wife left me again. Oh, Scott's at home. Mrs. Scott is on a cruise. Yeah, I should have known that. Yeah, everything seems right in the world. Dan says, Maybe you should consider going to Walgreens and getting some CRS. Can't remember shit pills. That's funny because Rooster told me that I forgot to take my drugs earlier this week. Speaking of whom, Rooster says, I got to bail and hit the hay. I'll call you tomorrow sometime. Need to talk cams. Your favorite subject. Oh, yeah. If there's one thing I love, it's remembering shit and numbers. Oh, Morgan says, thanks. I have the tab. I appreciate your help. So you don't have a mark on your balancer. Weird. Yeah, you really should. But yeah, just do that with the screwdriver. You should hopefully be able to find close to top dead center. You could use the proper tool, which is a screw-in piston stop. And then you put one mark. You screw in the tool, turn the engine until it stops against that thing, put one mark, turn it backwards until it stops again, put another mark, and then measure, mark exactly in the center, and that's your TDC mark. That's the fancy way to do it. I've had good enough results with a screwdriver. So hopefully that works. Dan's pinned down in a Nerf battle. I've done that on video twice, I think. Did I actually use that this year? We have a huge Nerf battle at Christmas every year. I don't know if I used much of the footage this year. Anyway, Cameron Weisenbach is here. You're just in time because I'm getting out of here. It is 8 o'clock and we've been going for 2 hours. But K-Man says, just signed on and I have a question. I just found a factory slant 6 two-barrel intake and I'm wondering if I can use the old Holley 1920 linkages and stuff. No, none of it's going to work. Holley 1920 is turned that way. So what I would consider sideways, and the throttle runs side to side. On the two-barrel intake, the BBD sits normal ways, and the throttle runs front to back. So I shouldn't say no, like 100% no, because I have seen where you can kind of flip it around and get it to go the other direction. My friend Dave did that on his 63 Dart with a 225. It's a little hinky. Don't expect it to just work. Your kick down, if you have an automatic, is definitely not going to work. It's just, you're going to have to do some science. Some science is involved. And again, the main problem is the carburetor is pointed the other direction. And with that question answered, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go find something to eat. I am starving. And about a third of the viewership's left already anyway, because they know what time it's time to go. But I thank you very much for hanging out and asking questions and that sort of thing. Okay, man, I might have a Super 6 two-barrel swap in my future. And if I do, I'll do a video on it. You'll have probably figured it out by then, but that could well be coming. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out. This is really fun. I look forward to it every week, and I mean that. Thank you for buying Dead Dodge Garage merch. There's plenty more. They'll make as much as you order, just saying. And we've got new designs coming all the time. So check out theshop.deaddodgegarage.com. Buy early, buy often, etc. And have a good night. And I will see you next week.